their football here in upstate New York as you look inside of New Era Field in Orchard Park. The folks in Buffalo love their Bills, and a moment ago they entered to the delight of this sold-out crowd. They're set for football as their Bills will do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
The Bills' Stephen Hauschka's got this one teed up, and off we go from New Era Field. This one fielded at the 5. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
We got this.
So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And when I think of Russell Wilson, I think not just of the big plays that he's made, and those are considerable, but when they were made. 4th and 26 in a Big Ten championship game against Michigan State when he was with Wisconsin. A big completion helped lead his team to a victory. A big 4th down throw for a touchdown in an NFC championship game against the San Francisco 49ers. When the chips are down, this guy plays at a big level.
This is Carson, and that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. From the gun, it's Wilson. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. But I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Here's Wilson to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Andre Roberts is deep for Buffalo. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is brought in at the 21. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Devin Singletary with his first carry of the game. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The starters now on offense, and Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries, but boy, has he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Bruce Irvin is an emotional, passionate player who lives to rush the quarterback.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Here's a 1st and 10 now after they successfully drew him off sides. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try and run for this with Singletary. As Singletary has it stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations, big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Off the edge, Mario Addison gets the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Here's Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
On third down, Wilson. He's got Lockett. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
49. Mike, 49. I'm coming.
They'll run on first down. Carson, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Oh, boy, I know you felt that one.
Quickly now, a look at the Buffalo defense.
Trent Murphy's #1 attribute is playing against the run, but he continues to work hard on his pass rush skills.
Mike's 50.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson, and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
The first down line at the 34 here on third down. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And that is incomplete.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game. Well, I was watching him in warm-ups, and he hit a 62-yarder that hit the crossbar and went over. This one a little bit inside of that, but not enough leg.
And the difference is what?
Well, your live conditions, right?
Live conditions, game conditions are a whole lot different than practice where you just pop it up there, no rush, no pressure. I think maybe that takes a couple yards away from you when you have to do it when it's real.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 42.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And that will be incomplete.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? 3rd and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on 3rd and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet, they're going to go for it on fourth. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Looking to throw on second down. Allen, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Kroft, the tight end, the one he was looking for. And it's third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's fourth down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for second down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job, to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. They run it with Carson. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Wilson. Starlatulele. In there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here now Roberts. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bills are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good sock, baby. That's a baby sock.
They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down now, Singletary. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for 1st.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Watch the slats. Watch the slats.
Allen from the gun on 3rd down. That one complete to Yeldon. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
I'm going to run you over.
On 1st down, Singletary. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They will run with Singletary. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
57 to Mike. Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And his throw here's incomplete. Cole Beasley, the intended target. And it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll run it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard. Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Now it's Stephen Hauschke, who won a Super Bowl ring kicking for the Seahawks. Now he's against them. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, You're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. 1st down Seahawks.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now that battle, that was won right up front.
And we're used to seeing those battles right up front, but we're used to seeing a lot of defensive tackles or more run stuffers and just play the spot where they are. How about these dancing bears we see nowadays that win the battle and then go upfield looking for runners?
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch the out, watch the out.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Mike, 49.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
The last 2 plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. They go play action now. Wilson trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. And that goes as a gain of 37 on 3rd down. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They run the counter. Carson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more on that one and another first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Launch 49.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. Now it's Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Seahawks on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is third and goal. Now it's Wilson. He finds his running back, Hyde. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up. This should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal.
All day, baby, all day.
On first down, they'll start out with Singletary. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. I think he gets a mulligan there carrying the ball because he had no shot, and that's why it went backwards.
I still remember in the summer we were at one of the training camps. You were marveling about how much those defensive tackles eat. I think he just inhaled a running back on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. This is a draw play. Allen gives to Singletary. And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
He's going to let this one go deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now it's Lockett. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. So let's glance at a player's spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown and a field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Let's go, Heavy. Tell me what you got. What you got, Heavy?
On the delay, here's Carson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down Seattle on a pickup of 13. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Now Carlos Hyde in the game. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Carson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Right back to him on first down. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Crunch time, defense.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
On first down, it's Carson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
And the Seahawks on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Wilson. That's caught by Hollister. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 14.
They brought in the heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation, and sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. The Seahawks on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He may try and run for this. So he got 9 yards that time, but he needed 10, and it brings up 4th and 1.
So this was a case of better safe than sorry. All the receivers were locked up, so he had to try and run for it, but he ended up having to slide short of the marker.
Now here's Jason Myers. He gets set for the Seahawk field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. Myers' kick is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Singletary to get the drive started. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And he's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a run with Singletary. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Run coverage excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
57 to Mike. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime report.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Benson Mayowa in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
Now Wilson on first down. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On first and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's get it.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett, and that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Philip Dorsett hauls it in. And they're going to stop him short of the 1st down as he's tackled at about the 21. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So on 4th down, here's Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Myers able to knock it through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And our attention turns now to T.J. Yeldon. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? 35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Down 80!
Single, slop. Hey, you're on an island over there.
From the 31, Allen. He's got Smith here. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And this one complete to Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 23 yards on the play. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Godden.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal.
Right there.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Allen off the play fake. And his throw is incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. But it's going to be second down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
On the ground, it's Singletary. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything, change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
57, Mike 57. Watch the backer, watch the backer.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He finds Yeldon. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. The Bills send the punter out as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Going for the deep ball, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They go right back to Singletary. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Hey, round 80. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. You never go.
On third down, they go with Singletary. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41.
Here we go.
They only get 2 there, but on third and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
They'll run on first down. Singletary. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
57 to Mike. Yo, 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 yo. Yo. It's it.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Bills send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
There we go.
The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. Now Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Operating from the gun, Wilson fighting to stay upright. Flushed out, but in the end the pressure too great and he goes down. The sack there by Trent Murphy.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just outside his own goal line. A good kick, 49 yards, just 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run here with Singletary. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
A shotgun handoff now to Yeldon. Yeldon fighting. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Allen. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Allen now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Here's Singletary. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Hey, check out.
Singletary again. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him, where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
So that one will be accepted.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 2nd down, Singletary. Just a yard on the gain there, and that leaves them with 14 yards still to go on 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Let's go.
Now Allen to throw. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good.
Let's go.
A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Well, now they'll start 3 yards shy of midfield after that long 57-yard miss. They start the drive with Hyde. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Mike, 49. All day, baby, all day, all day, all day.
On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
It's a party now. It's a party now.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is knocking on the door for 100 yards in this ball game.
And it's so important. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, just short of it, a little bit over. A little bit over feels better to everyone. Offensive line, running back, team totals, just something magical about breaking that barrier.
He's right there on the doorstep now. Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15.
Coming for you, son.
On the give, this is Singletary. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. Stephon Diggs. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, 85 yards. And the Bills have retaken the lead. Well, they had gone run the previous play. Nice little setup. This time they go play action. Defense bites a bit, and they hit for a big play in the end zone.
So they sold it really well, didn't they? Because of just what you described. They ran it the previous play, come back with the same action, and now they step back and throw it and get a big play for a touchdown. But what happens as a defensive back is your eyes have to go to the right place. You always hear Coach talk about, are your eyes in the right spot? Well, this time the eyes went to the play action. It froze their feet. They weren't moving, and he went on past them and caught the pass for a touchdown.
Hauschka with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. Tauschke now to send this one away following the score. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
And out now come the Seahawks. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
This is Carson. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Star Latulele in on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
380.
Check tight.
On second down, Hyde. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
So first and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 41.
Let's make these babies.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Throwing is Wilson. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 28.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a first down.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's first and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. They run again with Carson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. That had to be a nightmare as a ball carrier. You look up and see his big bear claws coming at you right away. No chance.
And just think how the game continues to evolve. We always worried about the defensive ends and the outside linebackers bringing pressure. How about the play now? It's not just eating up blockers for these guys inside, is it? It's eating up blockers and making plays in the backfield.
And just eating. Wilson to throw on 3rd down. He finds his running back, Hyde. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. Back now in Buffalo. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Myers' kick is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
So we're back to a one-point game now as the kickoff comes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes Josh Allen and the Bills offense back onto the field. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. Means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for them.
On first down, Singletary. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
Let's go.
On third down, Allen. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
I'm coming back.
Seems to me that our friend, Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. The Bills send the punter out as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Returnable for Lockett. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll find Metcalf. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. Wilson now. A perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. No one there to help out downfield, but no problem. Scrambling for 22 and a first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have once again taken the lead.
And that touchdown ends a streak, for lack of a better word, of 3 field goals that they put on the board previously. They finally cracked the code.
Yeah, they've been down there. They've been in enemy territory, as you said. They just hadn't been able to punch it in until that point. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives them a 7-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. It's caught. Smith. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, Allen. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he nearly got the first himself, but it appears he's going to be about a yard or 2 short. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. The Bills send the punter out as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is Do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. They'll run on first down. Carson. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They run it with Carson. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he'll be close to a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 25.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with a draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
Well, you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it, stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Myers able to knock it through. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he finds Beasley, complete. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On play action, Allen rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win.
To throw, it's Allen. He'll try and run it. And they move this all the way down to the 9. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
On that play, as you saw the route start to develop downfield, I got the sense that maybe the run would set up for him, and he took full advantage of it and got a big gain on a busted play.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They run here with Singletary, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Yeah, let's get a sack lunch.
So they fake the handoff. Now Allen. And then he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. Josh Allen, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
On first down, it's Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Play action. Now Wilson. Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson, it's caught. Block it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he's going to keep it here. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Bills have recovered.
Oh, ball. That's on ball. That's on ball.
So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. He finds his target, John Brown. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
First down now, but that clock rolling.
Hey, check Mike 57.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Bobby Wagner, the former second-rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Back to throw. Now he'll pull it down. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
Normally we're talking about a quarterback duel where they're matching each other pass for pass. How about the footwork in this one? Both of these guys running the ball well.
Yeah, they've mixed in the run game. You're exactly right. Now, both coaches might not like how much their quarterbacks have taken off, but another example right there of just good mobility. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And a pause in the action because the booth, they see something that they want to take another peek at to find out if this was a touchdown or not. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Hauschka now for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it culminates in a Bills touchdown. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. This will be taken about the 12. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So Wilson and the Seahawks down 24-20, 27 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now is Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. He's back to throw. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
280. Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Now Wilson. This complete to Lockett. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. Back to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Ed Oliver able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. Well, Charles, a pretty exhilarating finish to the end of this ball game. At the end, the Hail Mary prayers, though, they went unanswered. Could have won it, but couldn't get it done.
Almost felt schoolyard or playground, didn't it? Yeah, you remember when you called that play? Everybody just go long and try and find someone open. They gave it a shot, but unable to successfully complete it.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Buffalo.